What if the biggest obsession surrounding Meghan Markle was never royal titles, palace drama, or interviews, but a handful of carefully picked words hiding inside official biographies behind the palace curtain? And what if those words secretly shifted over time, leaving a trail of contradictions critics claim raises far more questions than answers now? Seriously. For years, this story lingered in the background unnoticed by most people. Then suddenly, royal watchers, commentators, and even longtime critics began connecting dots many believe were hiding in plain sight still. Now the debate has exploded again, and at the center of it all sits a simple question that refuses to disappear entirely. Why did official sources describe Meghan Markle's university education in different ways? And why were those descriptions later changed? At first glance, it sounds like the kind of detail nobody would care about. A university degree, a biography, a few words here and there. Nothing dramatic, nothing shocking. But that's exactly what makes this story fascinating, though. Because when small details start changing inside official records, people begin wondering what else may have changed. And once those questions start, they rarely stop. The first piece of this puzzle came from Northwestern University itself. Following Meghan Markle's engagement to Prince Harry, the university proudly celebrated one of its most famous graduates. Their description seems straightforward. Meghan Markle graduated in 2003 with a double major in theater and international studies. Simple, clear, official, coming directly from the institution that awarded the degree. Many considered it the most authoritative description possible. Then something curious happened. When Meghan Markle officially entered royal life, a different description appeared elsewhere. This time on the British monarchy's official website. Suddenly, the wording wasn't exactly the same. Instead of international studies references, began appearing that described her background as international relations. Instead of a double major, some descriptions referred to a dual degree. To many people, those differences sounded insignificant. To critics, they sounded like alarm bells because academic terminology is not always interchangeable. And when two official institutions describe the same educational background differently, people naturally start asking questions. Was it simply careless wording? Was it an innocent misunderstanding? Or was there something deeper hiding beneath the surface? The more people looked, the stranger the timeline became. Critics began digging through archive pages, interviews, and public statements. Every old biography suddenly became evidence. Every forgotten article became a clue, and the deeper they searched, the more inconsistencies they claimed to find. What especially fueled the controversy was Northwestern University's academic structure itself. Observers pointed out that Northwestern does not offer a traditional standalone undergraduate major called international relations. Instead, the university has been associated with international studies. That distinction immediately became the centerpiece of countless debates across social media and commentary channels. If the university officially described her degree as international studies, critics wondered, why did international relations keep appearing elsewhere? Where did that wording originate? Who even approved this? And more importantly, why did nobody publicly correct it for years? Questions stacked up faster than answers. Then another twist came. As online investigators revisited archived versions of Meghan Markle's royal biography, many noticed of the educational details that had sparked controversy appeared to be modified, shortened, or removed during later website updates. Suddenly, the focus shifted. The story was no longer only about the original wording. It became about what happened after people started questioning it. And that's when rumors truly exploded. Critics argued if nothing was wrong, why change anything at all, really? Supporters pushed back, saying websites are updated constantly and biographies evolve all the time. But the absence of a detailed public explanation only fueled further curiosity. Silence became part of the story. Every missing detail seemed suspicious. Every update created new theories. Every unanswered question generated 10 more. Soon, the discussion moved beyond international studies versus international relations. Attention turned toward another phrase that appeared repeatedly throughout different biographies: double major versus dual degree. To the average reader, those terms may sound almost identical, but according to many commentators examining Northwestern's music academic policies, they are not necessarily the same thing. A double major generally involves completing two areas of study within a single degree framework. while dual-degree programs often carry different academic requirements altogether. That distinction may sound technical, but in the world of royal controversies, technical details can become political weapons overnight. Suddenly, critics were dissecting academic terminology with the same intensity usually reserved for palace scandals. Every phrase became evidence. Every archived web page became a battlefield. And the longer official institutions remained silent, the louder the speculation became. Meanwhile, another layer of intrigue emerged from older interviews Meghan Markle had given years before joining the royal family. Commentators pointed to occasions where she appeared to use the phrase international relations while describing her educational background. That discovery complicated everything. If the wording existed years before royal biographies appeared, then perhaps the source of the discrepancy wasn't the palace at all. Maybe the terminology originated much earlier. Maybe it spread naturally through media interviews and public profiles. Or maybe nobody ever stopped to verify the exact academic language being used. But that explanation didn't satisfy everyone, because by now the controversy had grown far beyond a university degree. It had transformed into something much bigger, a debate about credibility, public records, and institutional accountability. And once that transformation happened, there was no turning back. As the controversy grew louder, the focus slowly shifted away from what the wording actually said and towards something many critics considered even more intriguing. What happened after people started questioning it? Suddenly, observers noticed that educational references, which had once been prominently displayed, seemed less visible after website updates. For critics, it wasn't a coincidence. They argued that the timing looked suspicious. For supporters, however, the explanation was much simpler. Websites change, profiles get rewritten, information is reorganized. Not every update requires a public, explosive announcement. Yet, with no clear clarification surfacing, both sides kept battling competing interpretations unfolding. What made the situation even more explosive was growing belief among some commentators that the terminology had been repeated so many times nobody stopped questioning it once it spread widely. Once a phrase appears on an official website, it rapidly spreads across media. Journalists, repeated databases, copied articles reference it. Before long, a description becomes accepted simply because it appears everywhere indeed. Critics argued this exactly what may have happened here in reality. The wording spread so widely it eventually became part of Meghan Markle's public narrative, whether it accurately reflected Northwestern's official terminology or not. Then another twist arrived as online discussions intensified. Some corners of the internet pushed the story further, claiming that Meghan Markle may not have graduated at all. That allegation quickly gained attention because sensational claims travel faster than careful analysis online. But the debate quickly became messy and fractured. While critics continued questioning the wording of biographies, public statements from Northwestern University consistently identified Meghan Markle as a graduate from the class of 2003, which remained unchanged officially. That distinction became extremely important in the ongoing discussion around itself now. There was growing difference between questioning terminology and questioning graduation itself. Yet on social media, those conversations often became tangled together. Some focused on discrepancies between international studies and international relations. Others focused on double major versus dual degree, while others expanded. The result was a storm of competing narratives, each feeding off the other, creating an environment where confusion sometimes became stronger than facts themselves. What kept the controversy alive wasn't proof of wrongdoing alone. It was the absence of definitive answers. Every unanswered question created another opening for speculation. Every missing explanation encouraged people to construct their own theories. And as often happens in royal controversies, silence became one of the most powerful forces in the entire story. Critics argued institutions should publicly clarify discrepancies once they become widely discussed aloud. Supporters argued responding to every online debate would be impossible indeed. Both sides believed they had a valid point. Meanwhile, the public continued examining timelines, archived web pages, interviews, and official statements, searching for clues that might finally explain how different descriptions ended up circulating for so many years. The deeper observers looked, the more they realized the controversy had grown far beyond Meghan Markle herself, becoming something larger now. It had become a discussion about institutional transparency, public trust, and the enormous influence official biographies can have once they enter the public record. A few words on a website may seem insignificant when first published, but when those words are repeated across thousands of articles and millions of screens, they can shape public perception for years. By 2026, the debate remained alive, not because there was definitive proof of deception, but because people still felt that pieces of the puzzle were missing. Different descriptions undeniably appeared at different times. Changes undeniably occurred. Yet the reasoning behind those changes remained largely unknown. And whenever uncertainty exists, curiosity follows closely right behind. That is the real reason the story. It isn't just about a degree description at all really anymore. It isn't just about academic terminology either. It's about how information moves through powerful institutions, how public records evolve, and how questions can linger long after the original details have faded. Critics continue demanding explanation. Supporters continue dismissing controversy as overblown still. And somewhere between those competing viewpoints sits a trail of archived pages, official statements, interviews, and revisions that people are still trying to piece together.